Hey there, thinkers! Welcome back to Critical Hit. My name is Est, and just when you thought things couldn't spiral further downhill for Concord, here comes the punchline of a century, but somehow even funnier because you know exactly who's on board. So get this, Concord's player count has plummeted by a staggering 42% after just one weekend. Yes, just one weekend. I guess the hype didn't quite match the reality, huh? But honestly, it's absolutely priceless. I mean, if there were ever a group of people more deserving of a reality check, it's definitely them. It's almost poetic justice. Like the universe just decided, you know what, let's give them exactly what they deserve. And there it is, in all its traumatic glory. So, to the woke police who thought they had it all figured out, enjoy the view from rock bottom. However, I have a few things to show off here, but before I do, we have a small request. If you are new here, consider hitting that subscribe button, smashing that like, and ring the bell to be notified for our next video. We would greatly appreciate this, since this will help us appease those YouTube algorithm gods. So, we thank you. Now, let me give you our thoughts on this, and let's get into it. So let me lay this out for you. So hold on to your panties for this mind-blowing revelation. Concord's player base is practically bursting at the seams, assuming you consider a grand total of 697 people in a 24-hour period to be the pinnacle of success. Yes, that's right. The game had almost too many players to count. If you're not great with numbers, that is. And then in a truly shocking turn of events, just days after the game's launch, it somehow lost 42% of that teeming crowd. I know, who could have seen that coming? Clearly, this game is destined for greatness, and by greatness, I mean going to crash and burn faster than you can say 6 months to a year. But hey, why stop there? Let's dive into this riveting article from That Park Place, because nothing screams success like analyzing why a game is flopping so spectacularly. Now, let's talk about the characters. Take Daw, for instance. Yes, you heard that right, Daw. I mean, with a name like that, how could this character not be an instant fan favorite? It's a total enigma how this game isn't topping the charts when it has such a memorable and charismatic characters like Daw. Truly, it's a mystery for the ages why this game didn't instantly become a cultural phenomenon. Oh, wow, what a shocker. A character that's dull as a dishwasher, rocking that oh-so-stunning androgynous vibe with he-him pronouns, clearly the recipe for a masterpiece. And Firebox Studios Concord, which totally nailed its launch by tanking with a 42% drop in the first weekend. I mean, just bask in those glorious numbers, my dude. Like, how could anyone not be thrilled with that kind of success? But hey, feel free to keep up the gaslighting. I mean, Twitter's practically on fire with all the "this game is so amazing, don't listen to the haters" fucking nonsense. Like, seriously, the people who ignored the warnings and actually gave this game a shot are jumping ship faster than you can say, bored out of my fucking mind. And yet, somehow, it's our fault. Right, because clearly those players who bailed after 3 days are just too impatient to see the brilliance. So, according to Steam database, this game absolutely exploded with a peak of 697 players when it dropped on Friday, August 23rd. I mean, 697 players? Like, hold on to your panties, people. But wait, it gets better. By Sunday, August 25th, that number nosedived to an astonishing 402. That's a jaw-dropping decline of 42.3%. Like, talk about keeping up the momentum. Now, let's talk sales, because this is where it gets really interesting. Galactic, GTIC, Gaelic, whatever they're calling themselves, estimates that over 7,300 copies flew off the virtual shelves. VG Insights, they're going bigger with a bold claim of 12,700, but the real MVP here is Player Tracker, confidently throwing out a figure of 13,100 copies sold. I mean, sure. I'm gonna level with you. I'm not buying any of these numbers. Like, seriously, are we supposed to believe that this many people actually forked out their hard-earned cash for this drivel? I mean, if these figures are remotely accurate, it must mean one thing. A whole parade of industry insiders rushing to buy the game, not because it's good, but to show how much they support it. Virtue signaling at its absolute finest. Because really, What better way to make a statement than predicting to love something that no one's actually playing? I mean, oh wow, look at you buying that game and giving yourself a gold star for supporting the woke, or whatever trendy buzzword you've latched onto. Isn't it just adorable how you think that your purchase is some sort of a grand gesture? Like, it's too bad it doesn't actually mean anything if you're not playing it. It's almost like your support is as real as a unicorn, practically non-existent. I mean, seriously, if you're letting the player count sink to a staggering 113 people right now, it's doing wonders for the game's reputation and the modern gaming audience, isn't it? Bravo! You've really nailed the whole supporting thing, just by buying it and then totally forgetting it. Firebox Studios and PlayStation Studios must be throwing a party in your honor, thrilled by how your massive financial support has turned into a colossal disaster. So keep up the great work. It's totally making a difference. Oh, absolutely, because what we're witnessing with Concord is just chef's kiss. It's PlayStation's very own Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. And I mean, let's be real here. This game is shaping up to the PlayStation's version of that legendary flop. It's going to be a monumental disaster in the terms of financial loss. I can hardly wait for the earnings call to see how PlayStation or Sony is going to perform with their little magic act. They'll probably be busy trying to gaslight their investors who are asking the tough questions about Concord before the game even dropped. Remember how they were like, oh, absolutely, this game is so amazing and is getting press and players are just itching to dive in. Yeah, right. I'd love to see them try to spin this into a positive. So John, the game's lead character designer, has graciously shared with PC Gamer that the game has been in development for a mind-blowing 8 years. Yes, you heard that right. 8 whole fucking years. And for what? A grand total of 700 players? Truly an achievement of epic proportions. He's also mentioned that he's been involved for nearly 5 of those years. So clearly, today is an earth-shattering, once-in-a-lifetime event. Launch days are such a rare gem in this industry after all. So if you could just muster up a few good vibes for this monumental occasion, that would be great. But let's be real, your good vibes probably won't do much good when the product you've delivered is a total flop. And now they're really pushing it, trying to pull on our heartstrings by asking us to remember that this game was crafted by actual humans. They're basically begging for sympathy, urging us to be kind and understanding. Seriously? No fucking thank you. Now, let's not kid ourselves into thinking that we suddenly care about the behind-the-scenes drama of how a product comes to be. The cold hard truth is that 98% of people really couldn't care less about the development process. All they care about is what the final product actually does for them. This isn't some revolutionary concept. It's basic consumer logic that applies across all forms of entertainment products and services. But sure, keep thinking everyone is so deeply concerned about how their products are made. It's not like people are solely focused on what the product will do for them. Whether it's a flashy status symbol or a ridiculously overpriced item to show off their wealth, or just something that makes their life just a little bit easier. No, that's not the real issue here. And let's not forget that most of the stuff is made out of China under conditions that would make you question humanity. Like, can anyone say, oh, I don't know, slave labor? But hey, let's not pretend otherwise. Because I mean, even I've got that so-called high-quality Chinese-made stuff that I use daily. So let's be real. No one's actually losing sleep over the ethics of how a product is made. But of course, the development team is totally committed to maintaining and updating the game forever. They're practically bursting with pride about how human and deep Concord is. We're all in and ready to push it for years to come. So they say. And right, because nothing says long-term success like a game that's destined to be either free to play or face the axe from PlayStation Studios sooner rather than later. Gamers are already betting on whether Firewalk Studios will be shutting its doors or slashing its prices first. So sit back and enjoy the spectacle as Concord takes its final bow. It's a textbook case of a game that was dead on arrival, and honestly, a fitting end for a project that never stood a chance. Watching this disaster unfold has been oddly satisfying, and I'm thrilled to see it happen. However, those are my thoughts on the downfall of Concord. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, before you go, subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and ring the bell to be notified for our next video. As always, this is Est, and I'm signing off now. So I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!